Okay, so just to start it off, in the top left-hand corner, spawning as the red Terran, we've got Hulksmash. I'm not gonna try and do the whole zoom in, zoom out thing because I always wreck it up, and then I've always like locked in the zoom in. And in the bottom right-hand corner, spawning as the green Terran, a little bit of an unusual color green Protoss. A little bit of an unusual color.
This is some weird-looking SCVs.
Yeah, yeah, this is very unusual. We have Champi. Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see what's gonna happen. I'm excited.
We do see that Champi hasn't gone for the Reaper wall off on this map. Instead, he's kept the SimCity a little bit tighter. Do you have a preference on this? Do you think it's worth, putting those buildings on the outside to prevent the Reaper getting up?
Some people, like I know Intuition, who's a much better player than me, likes to wall it in a different way so that you can trap the Reaper if he goes around. So if it commits, then you're guaranteed to kill it. So it's kind of like, I don't mind you seeing my tech and I can kill the Reaper. It has its benefits. It means that you can't get a DT shrine down very safely. And maybe that's just your thing. You're not going to go a DT style build with this type of wall.
We do see Marine first and 2 gases on 1 base for Hulksmash at the moment. So it looks like this turn player is going to be going for certainly some sort of 1-1-1 tech-based pressure, I would imagine.
Yeah, and we're going to see a proxy Stargate from Champi. Champi's usually quite a macro player. This is a bit unusual. Yeah.
This is a strong build, though.
Especially, this is a very strong build, and it also makes more sense that the no Reaper wall off, because you have one pylon in your main. You want to keep it close to your Nexus so you can throw down a shield battery if necessary, which also means that you can send the first Adept straight across the map. I think this is going to be very, very strong.
I think you're right, but at the same time, I think 1 base going directly to tech here, putting a tech level on this factory, he could get a Cyclone out. He's going to have a reactor on his barracks. He's going to be able to start pumping out Marines. And if Hulksmash sniffs out what this is, I think he's going to be able to make the right unit composition to hold.
I would say so, but he also didn't scout whether it's a 1 base or a 2 base Protoss. So I feel like he has to blindly make the correct units. And I feel like the first thing that's going to come out is a tank, which is exactly what he does.
And we do see a tank here now as well, which is a little unfortunate.
I mean, it's going to be able to siege the shield batteries from the high ground, but like the Void Ray is just going to kill it like instantly. I think there might be 6. There's 4 Marines against this Void Ray. Maybe we can see if I can get 8.
Yeah, hopefully he cancels this queued up tank, builds a Cyclone, and he does, as well as queuing up a Viking. I think at the moment would be a solid strategy. Do you think you need a bunker as well to hold this pressure?
Yeah, typically, because like. Yeah, typically you need a bunker. Like, mines aren't too bad either. Notice the other barracks isn't producing as well, which is pretty problematic. That other barracks needs to be building Marines.
Yep.
And now here's a second Void Ray. And like, even if this Cyclone does come out, it only has so far back in the base it can run. It can't kite that far. It's got a little bit. Okay, that was alright. And the Viking comes
Picking up a Void Ray, I think, is huge.
Yeah, actually, wow. Okay, a gateway coming down here as well. Okay, this Adept's going to finally maybe... No, it won't get cleaned up. I think he can just run out of range here. But yeah, still the other barracks still not producing anything. Like, we've got the minerals to build some more Marines here. I don't mind these missile turrets here. It means the Cyclone can kite back into the missile turrets, and it's a little bit safer. Otherwise, like,
I think
the Void Rays can follow. Sorry.
I think he's got enough here to hold this pressure off. I think it's going to depend on the transitions out of both players and how Hulksmash if Hulksmash can read if this is going to be ultra committal or not. I don't know if I agree with starting a medevac though.
Yeah, I think the logic behind a medevac is like, okay, you've kind of held this push, you just destroy the Protoss' economy, and then all of a sudden you've won the game that way. They can't build anymore. Oh, that pick off the Void Ray was actually really, really strong. Also, the upgrade for missile turrets for the range it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, the 4-minute high-sec auto-tracking build is not one we typically see, but it might actually be quite effective in this game.
Okay. Okay, we're going to see a little bit of a move out here. Now, there's still a lot of shield batteries there.
We did see a fleet beacon complete for Champi at home. We're
Oh,
going to see
really?
a Void Ray speed and a heavy committal here, or do we think it's going to be a Tempest at the front line?
Yeah, it could be a Tempest. Yeah, okay, it's a Tempest. Maybe wants to pick off those missile turrets and continue this pressure, but I think there's almost enough units here from Hulk to... Like, I actually don't mind the idea of building a tank now and just sieging this from the high ground here. Because you can just do a lot of damage to these shield batteries, you can contest them, and they have to, like, fly into you.
These shield batteries do have a lot of energy still. They're going to take quite a while to clean up here.
That's true.
Long enough that this Tempest is going to be out and able to pick off the tank,
That's true.
right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and a Nexus is coming down. Yeah, we should see some SCVs pulled to repair this tank, but...
I was going to say, I want to see mass repair on this tank so you can see a tank being mass repaired fighting a Tempest being mass healed by 5 batteries.
That was really, like... I thought that
was some
dead.
clutch play. Oh my god, I missed that. That is actually clutch.
I thought it was 100% dead. I was like, oh, he's unsieging it. Now there's 2 tanks. It means like a lot of the ground units. This Tempest is still being very, very annoying. What typically I see a few Terrans try to do against this build is they'll get the Cyclone damage upgrade. And then their Cyclone...
Right, the mag field accelerator. Yeah. Just clean up the Void Rays with that. I think that makes sense.
Like, I don't mind this idea if there's like a lot of missile turrets down, but just like walking across the map here is very, very interesting.
I've got to be honest with you. I actually don't like this. I think that even if he cleans out the entire Protoss base, I don't think he can ever come back here and kill what's on the ground for Champi. And if he gives up his base to do it, he's never going to have what he needs to clear it up. You know?
Yeah, definitely true. Oh, I feel like he could do this if he built like 5 missile turrets just as he moved out, and it would just delay.
Oh, and we do see a big recall of units.
Yeah, but like if he recalls them, he doesn't have the shield batteries here. This is like the perfect opportunity for Cyclones to pick off some of these units.
Now he does have 2 shield batteries here in the main base, but it's not going to be where they need to be.
Oh, wow. It looks like the Tempests are going to be picked off. This is actually... I'm not sure about the recall.
Yeah, I think that's the wrong play. Now we do have 4 Stalkers in the main base of Hulksmash at the same time here, cleaning out SCVs. We're up to 9-10 SCV kills. We still haven't seen any probe damage to Champi, but I mean, surely this army is going to do a lot of probe damage.
The overcharge goes down. That Tempest is not on a lot of health, but the overcharge is pretty strong. Another Tempest is coming back in. That Cyclone is on like not a lot of health either. I wouldn't be shocked if these Marines jump in the medevac and get dropped under the Tempest.
I think, you know, Champi in this time has actually cleaned up all of the SCVs for Hulksmash. Hulksmash not microing at home at all, busy on the attack here. And I think he's just run out of steam.
Yeah, this is an unusual one. I mean, there's still probes mining. There's still a Stalker. There's still 2 shield batteries. GG gets called. Wow.
I gotta admit, I would have loved to see the hot pick up boost under the Tempest and dropping the Marines. That would have been slick.
Wow, that game was really back and forth. Like, I thought Hulksmash had it at a few points there, and then just like let every SCV die to the Stalkers. Didn't even try and get surrounds with the SCVs on the Stalkers. There was a few different things.
I agree. I think if he'd had Magfield and if he'd even just at home like moving his SCVs, he had you know 20, 24 there. They would have been able to probably kill 4 Stalkers. Stalkers aren't known for their DPS against workers.
Yeah. I mean, I think the move out would have been really good if there was just like a bunker with even 2 or 3 Marines in it. Like just one bunker there stops a lot of the Stalkers' pressures, delays like a little bit of the Void Rays cleaning everything up. Next,
do we now know what map 2 is?
Map Hulk. So it's either between what were the maps? I think Ice and Chrome and Everdream, I believe.
Good maps, both pretty good maps.
How you going, Logic? How you going? Logic be well drunk. Logic is having a day off. So, you got to relax on your days off. We're currently in our tournament matches between Hulksmash and Champi. Yeah, that was a pretty good game. That was a pretty good game, honestly. I didn't expect that build out of Champi, and then Hulk. Yeah, I thought held the pressure, but the problem is like the Protoss is getting that expansion where you're kind of contained a little bit. May I have? Okay, sure. I'll throw some skins on for. Oof, exciting.
I know, I hope we're going to see another game that action-packed.
Okay. GLHF. Okay, both players ready. I wonder if Hulk's gonna do a cheese. So Hulk usually comes up with a number of different builds, especially when Hulk first... Who did Hulk first last time? First is Zerg. And he had so many different builds prepared. I think he versed Ninja. I don't know. No, Shiro. Sorry.
We did have a we did see that was, a 2 gas 1 base, probably going to be a marine tank all in, maybe with a liberator, ideally. So, that was already kind of on the cards. I'd love to see if he's going to do, maybe some proxy shenanigans. I'm a big fan of the proxy factory card drop, as you know, in this matchup.
Yes. It can be pretty strong. I thought it was still like a decent build from Hulk last game. Not using that second barracks, I think, hurt a lot. Could have had a much higher marine count, which would have helped against a lot of those air units. But I think there was a problem from Hulk not building, so didn't build the initial Reaper, skipped that Reaper, and I believe even skipped the SCV scout, so had no scouting information. And if you scout a Protoss base and you see a double gas before an expansion, it's a big tell. It is a really big tell. And he would have saw that and been able to like, okay, there's some sort of aggression or some sort of tech.
Wait, are you supposed to expand before taking your second gas?
Yeah. So you're supposed to expand.
Oh, I've been doing it wrong on ladder. I just, now I know.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. So like this game here will probably be more of a standard game from Champi, and what's the standard game is it's a 20 core and then a 20 nexus and then a gas sometime after that. Yeah, Hulk going for this supply depot wall again. Really liking this.
Now he may be playing standard again. It looks a lot more standard. The gas timing was a lot more normal. Now he has taken a second gas still on 1 base. I was going to say maybe he's going to throw down a CC for the big fake out, but it does look like he wants to maybe revise his build order from game 1 for some early aggression again.
Yeah. Well, we see him scouting this time, so it could be the same build just with like a scout to make sure that the same thing doesn't happen again. It could be the double racks factory starport, some sort of like a marine tank push, because it did look like he wanted to build a tank, did have a reactor, so it was going to have a fair few marines.
Do you see 2 marines out of the barracks? I'm interested to see what add-on he's going to build here. And it is a reactor again, so we are seeing a very, very similar opening here from Hulksmash.
Yeah.
I guess the question is going to be, is Champi going to be able to sniff this out, and then is he going to be able to hold it with his standard opening against Terran?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a shield battery coming down. This shield battery you don't typically build blind. I'm not sure if it's part of Champi's normal build, but he did get a supply depot wall off, so he did not get any scout onto the inside of the base. So it could also be him considering a double shield battery. So he could be thinking, there's 3 proxy Raxes and it could be a marine all in. There's a lot of things it could be without seeing inside the Terran's base. And
yeah, I think seeing the tight wall off in the marine first is kind of a big tell that there's some tech coming out of the Terran player, and he just wants to play it extra safe here. I mean, 200 minerals, it's a bit of a delay, but for the safety and security it brings, I think it's probably a cost worth paying.
Yeah. But it has delayed like a lot of Champi's like buildings. He would have wanted to get the gateways early. He probably would have wanted to get the robo early, but did invest in the double shield battery. Now, the thing is, if this is a big tank push, these double shield batteries that he's kind of he's forced are actually going to be strong for Champi. This is also an interesting map as well because you can do a tank push, and if they do Reaper Wall, you can attack those buildings quite easily from the low ground if you've got some sort of air vision. And it looks like a medevac tank marine push might be coming.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be strong. It's going to be a lot of units off one base against a so far 1 gate, now going up to 3 gate Protoss player. It's a lot to ask for to hold this off. Now, Champion's Hallucinated Phoenix does get the full scout, so he's both tanks and a pile of marines. He knows at this point exactly what's coming across the map.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I like this move. You bring in some SCVs with it. So the important thing with the SCVs here, you're not just running them just to go, okay, SCV's part of the army. It's also, oh, there's a big, oh, this could be game. If these stalkers get this meta back, oh.
Oh no. Oh dear.
Wow. That was such a huge
Oh
pick-off.
dear.
Oh.
That medevac is a game winner right there. Oh my goodness. Now, in Hulksmash's shoes here, I think, and this is going to sound terrible, I think he actually just has to go home and try to power out of this and find some damage with a Liberator and some drops. I don't think this push can work, and I don't think he can stay on one base. And we do see him throwing down the CC in response, building a Liberator, so we are going to see hopefully some harassment kick into gear here, a little bit of turtling, and surviving the storm that's going to come, potentially literally and at least figuratively here from Champ.
I feel like Hulk now has to put some risks in. I think he's so far behind, losing 2 tanks and a medevac essentially for free. I don't think even a stalker died in that exchange. This Liberator trying to get some damage, but this probe scouts it very well. Why build observers when you can get a probe which is cheaper?
Yeah, and we see Champy's got a probe patrolling down on the south side of the map as well, checking for drops. He knows that Hulksmash's only way back into this is by sneaking some damage in here and there, and he's determined to pay the costs and keep that damage away, which I think is a very smart move from him.
Yeah, just reducing the ways that he can lose this game. If we look at the worker count, is Champy's up 23 workers. I mean, the power of mules is strong, but it's not that strong.
I think, I don't know, if Hulksmash throws down 2 more CCs for the 2 extra mules, I think that he might catch up.
Well, ordinarily, like I wouldn't mind like a risky play where he just throws down a bunch of CCs, but I mean, we're seeing a lot of vision out from Champi, a lot of like hallucinated phoenixes. If they get scouted, like Champi could just all in straight away, and I don't think there's anything Hulksmash could do. There's 1 tank, there's 2 tanks and a Liberator defending here. Immortal can make very fast work of those units.
Yeah, it sure can. We do see a couple of scouting marines moving across the map from Hulksmash. One of them spotted by an observer on the south side. The stalkers are going to come out here and try to find that marine. And then on the north side, the other marine is poking at a pylon. I don't think he'll be successful there.
No.
The stalker's actually missing this marine on the south side of the map, so he might be able to pick off this scouting probe and open up a pathway to get a drop or a Liberator into the main base of Champion. But they're just going to miss each other, unfortunately.
Okay.
So we do see Champi here is transitioning into Colossus range, and then a bunch of gateways. So we're just going to see a big Colossus gateway shove on 3 bases, I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. You get to like 2 or 3 Colossus plus 1 attack. You can walk across the map and just win the game.
If you're Champi here, do you just wait for 2 or 3? Do you want to get up to 4? Do you want to look for a 4 first, or you're powering up and you're just going to shove when you've got, say, 2 Colossus when range finishes and hit that timing?
I think it always makes sense to push across the map. But with the vision that Champi has, I think he's pretty safe that you could probably hold some gateways up for a warping of 4 or 5 stalkers just in case. Like, spots a drop, warps in 5 stalkers and is fine back at home. And even if you push across the map, and then you see like 8 Vikings, which would never happen considering like how far ahead Champi is. I think you use your stalkers to disengage and you walk away.
Yeah, we do see Hulksmash. You know, he's taking a third to see what might look like a normal timing if, well, at least in relation to the production structures here, if he hadn't gone for a one base all in that got shut down. And to your point earlier, I think that this isn't sort of the risk factor that we need to see out of Hulksmash. He's kind of going super standard and in some way hoping that Champi makes a fumble or a mistake here. And I think that's a lot to ask for. Other than, you know, I was going to say, other than trying to drop, what could he be doing? But he just really has to do that. He has to find damage here.
Yeah, like I would have thought like I would have liked a mind drop, a liberator harass, multi-prong attack. You could go ghost nukes, but like I think that's very unreliable with the amount of like observers that wait, how many observers does Champi have? Only 2. Usually Champi goes up to something like 4.
He did get one picked off, I believe.
Okay.
By the way, you did say something about there being no way that there will be 11 Vikings out, but we do see the Viking count going up to 8 right now. So it's quite possible that he does walk into 11 Vikings at this rate.
Yeah, I'm kind of actually shocked at that. He did scan, but I wasn't sure if he actually saw the Colossus. It is.
I think he must have seen the Colossus. We must have missed that one.
And you know what? Vikings are actually alright as harass tools as well. You can drop them in a mineral line. They do extra damage to mechanical when they're landed, and probes are mechanical. So they're actually. I've often had times where I've looked back in a mineral line and seen one Viking with 17 kills.
This Sensor Tower is going to finish, and Hulksmash is going to know he's in a lot of trouble. As these 3 Colossus' big ball of gateway units does walk through and force the lift on the 3rd.
Yeah. So, see, the problem with going this many Vikings is we don't have that many medevacs. We have 1 medevac to heal this entire army. A little bit problematic.
I'd love to see him get those Vikings sort of forward a little bit and try to find an angle and get some pick damage or some chip damage onto these Colossus. Right now his bio just can't engage and doesn't stand a chance, but if he can sort of reduce the Colossus count here, or at least make these Colossus a little weak, and vulnerable, he might be able to give himself that space he needs to get the bio onto the Gateway army.
Yeah, that's true. There is 24 Zealots here without charge, which I find kind of amusing.
Yeah, that is. I think that must have been a mistake there from Champi to forget the Zealot legs. We do have a 2-1-2-1-0 upgraded advantage for Champi as well, so this is going to be a very powerful, if very slow, Gateway army.
Yeah, I mean, so charges on the way, heaps more upgrades, a DT Shrine, 2 Disruptors. I think Champi's just kind of getting the late game army that he wants.
You know, and you're right, but at the same time, he is, you know, giving Hulksmash space right now to build an army, to take a 3rd, if a little dubiously, and you know, give himself the tools to maybe take a good fight.
Yeah, that's true. Like moving out with these Vikings here is all right, but I mean, the Stalkers have Blink. There's just enough to threat them back. This Liberator goes down in Mineral Line, but it just happened to siege up in front of one of the 2 cannons there. It looks like this command center is going to go down, and then it's going to be a 2-base Terran against a 4-base Protoss.
Yeah, I think that Hulksmash here is in a lot of trouble.
Let's get a Colossus and an Archon, but loses a good portion of Vikings. GG's cool.
And Hulksmash realizes he's just too far behind.
Yeah, GG.
A couple of really nice games there from Champion.